Welcome to the channel. Today we're tackling a hot topic for high earners. Whether pivoting new contributions to a Roth 401k is wise when you're in a 30% plus tax bracket and already have a large traditional balance. We'll break down the fears around required minimum distributions, or RMDs, and present a strategic approach known as the gap year conversion. Along the way, we'll compare Roth Now versus Deduct Now paths, show diagrams, and test your understanding with short quizzes. Let's begin. First, we will outline the dilemma facing high earners. Next, we will explain the RMD concerns. Then, we will examine why switching to Roth contributions while in a high bracket can be expensive. After that, we will present the gap year conversion framework, followed by bracket filling tactics and common pitfalls. Finally, we will walk through practical planning steps and check your understanding with quick quizzes. Before we proceed, this content is for educational purposes and is not individualized tax, legal, or financial advice. Tax laws change, and your situation may differ based on filing status, state taxes, business income, healthcare subsidies, Medicare IRMAA thresholds, and more. Consult a CPA or fiduciary advisor to tailor these strategies to your circumstances. Now let's talk about the RMD boogeyman. Required minimum distributions force you to withdraw a portion of your traditional accounts later in life, which can increase taxable income. Many investors worry this will push them into higher brackets. As a result, they feel compelled to switch to Roth contributions today. The core question, however, is whether your effective tax rate in retirement will truly exceed your current top marginal rate. For most wealthy individuals with well-planned withdrawals, the answer is often no. Next, let's compare two paths. On the left, the Roth Now approach pays taxes today, often at 32 to 35% or higher, eliminating future taxes on growth and providing a hedge against tax increases. It is simple to implement, but may be expensive if your current rate is high. On the right, the Deduct Now approach takes the deduction while in a high bracket and plans staged conversions later during lower income years. This method requires more deliberate planning, but can result in significantly lower lifetime taxes if executed well. Now let's define the gap year conversion. While you are in a high marginal bracket, you maximize traditional contributions to capture valuable deductions. When you retire or reduce work before Social Security, pensions, or other fixed incomes begin, you experience low income years. During those years, you execute Roth conversions deliberately, filling lower tax brackets. The outcome is a reduction in future required minimum distributions and growth of your tax-free Roth assets at a much lower effective cost than paying today's high rate. This flowchart illustrates the full decision path. We begin with high income, which favors traditional contributions. Then we transition into early retirement, creating low income years. During these gap years, we perform annual Roth conversions up to target tax brackets. The chart includes decision points to monitor Affordable Care Act premium tax credit thresholds and Medicare IRMAA brackets, because both can be affected by conversion income. Finally, Social Security begins later, and by RMD age, the pre-tax balance is smaller, reducing forced distributions. Let's review how bracket filling works conceptually. The 10% bracket is extremely cheap for conversions, but it may be too small to make large progress. The 12% bracket is often a sweet spot for married couples filing jointly. The 22% bracket can still be attractive compared to paying 32 to 35% today, especially if you anticipate modest retirement income. Throughout, watch for healthcare subsidy cliffs under the Affordable Care Act and for Medicare IRMAA thresholds, as both can increase total costs if exceeded. Question time. If you are currently in a 35% bracket and expect to have several low-income years before Social Security, which approach typically yields lower lifetime taxes? Option 1. Switch all new savings to Roth now. Option 2. Maximize traditional contributions now and convert during the gap years. Option 3. Do nothing and wait for RMDs. Option 4. Take Social Security early and convert later. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to maximize traditional contributions now and convert during the gap years. This lets you capture deductions at your current high rate and later convert at much lower rates, which usually results in a lower lifetime tax bill. Here are the practical steps. First, Map your income timeline from working years through gap years to Social Security and then to RMD age. Second, estimate spending needs and fixed income sources such as pensions and annuities. Third, compare your projected retirement effective tax rate with your current marginal rate. Fourth, maximize traditional contributions while you are in top brackets. Fifth, during gap years, execute annual Roth conversions up to selected bracket thresholds. Sixth, monitor Affordable Care Act subsidies, Medicare IRMAA thresholds, capital gains interactions, and state tax differences. Finally, revisit the plan each year because markets, laws, and personal circumstances change. This timeline shows the sequence. During working years, you maximize traditional deductions. During gap years, you take advantage of low income to run Roth conversions. When benefits such as Social Security begin, coordination becomes important to avoid pushing into higher brackets. By RMD age under current law, which is generally in the early 70s, prior conversions can reduce the size of required distributions. Let's expand with a few markdown highlights. First, distinguish today's marginal rate from your future effective rate. They are not the same. Second, remember that Roth conversions stack on top of other income, so ordering matters. Third, policy risk exists, and diversification is helpful, but you should quantify the cost of that hedge. Fourth, alternatives such as the mega backdoor Roth and focused annual conversions can build Roth balances without paying 32 to 35% today. Second quiz. Which factor most commonly disrupts an otherwise solid gap year conversion plan? Option 1. Ignoring Affordable Care Act subsidy cliffs and Medicare IRMAA thresholds. Option 2. Holding bonds in taxable accounts. Option 3. Using a target date fund in a workplace plan. Option 4. Waiting until age 59.5 to convert. You may pause the video now to consider your answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is ignoring ACA subsidy cliffs and Medicare IRMAA thresholds. Exceeding those thresholds can add costs that negate the benefit of low bracket conversions, so careful monitoring is essential. To summarize the key points, avoid paying 32 to 35% today if you can convert later at 10 to 22%. Use gap years to reduce future required minimum distributions and to expand your Roth assets. Carefully watch healthcare thresholds, state taxes, and the timing of income sources. Tax diversification is valuable, but it should be pursued through deliberate, cost-aware planning. As we wrap up, remember, maximize traditional deductions in your high-income years, create and use low-income gap years before benefits begin, and fill lower tax brackets with annual Roth conversions. Coordinate your plan with healthcare and benefits thresholds, and revisit the plan each year to reflect new laws and personal changes. Thanks for watching. If this helped clarify your Roth versus traditional decision, please like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more strategy-focused content. Tell us in the comments how you are planning your gap years and what thresholds you are watching. See you next time.